Hi, I'm Max, and in today's video we'll talk about ADA as economic bandwidth. So, ADA is something which is often seen as a currency, right? People see it as the next big currency which people will be using to exchange goods, to exchange services, and that type of stuff. So essentially like the US dollar or the euro. Um, my perspective is quite different actually. I don't think it will become a currency, mainly because it has more commodity-like features. But that's for another video. For another video. Uh, but in this video, we'll specifically talk about how ADA is essentially economic bandwidth. And before entering that, we need to talk about what essentially ADA is actually. So when you think about ADA, ADA is a currency powering a network, right? So you have Cardano, which is kind of like AWS or Google Cloud, for example, but decentralized. And on top of that, you attach an economic layer, which if a developer wants to create an app on the network, he will need to use ADA in order to essentially pay for space on the network. That's ADA. It's simple, right? It's simply a currency used to be able to interact with the network. Now, is it actually a currency or is it more a commodity? And ADA has more commodity-like features, mainly because the more the network is being used, the higher the price of ADA, which really doesn't make it suitable for becoming currency. Mainly because if you want a currency, having medium of exchange which appreciates over time is not really the good deal, right? People won't be spending their money if that's the case, and because of that, you will have deflation essentially. So really, it is not really currency. It's more like a commodity, which is kind of like oil, actually. When you think about oil, um, oil is used for need, right? Cars. And the more cars are being used, and the more, and also oil has also many other use cases, by the way. I'm just taking the example of cars. But the more cars are being used, the more oil's value will appreciate over time. And so ADA is kind of like oil, right? The more the network is being used, the more it appreciates. So it has a lot of similarities with oil. However, it's actually much better than oil when you think about it, because you can do plenty of stuff with ADA. You can pledge, right? There is this incentivization of the network for stake pools to accumulate as much ADA as possible in order to use that ADA to pledge and to make more profits. So that's one first big use case for ADA. A second big use case is delegating, right? If you as a token holder want to make profit without having to run servers and without having to essentially annoy yourself with that, even if it's not really annoying, but let's say it is, well, you can delegate and earn essentially passive income on your funds, and that's delegation. And again, the network incentivizes that behavior by making it profitable for people to delegate their funds. And that's, again, another use case for ADA. Additionally, you also have smart contracts, which will be arriving soon to Cardano with Goguen, in which they are a massive use case for ADA. Because smart contracts, essentially, you pay once for space on the network, and for the rest of your life, as long as the network runs, your app will be on the network without you having to pay a single additional dollar or ADA in that regard. And so smart contracts are very attractive for developers because compared to, for example, AWS, where you need to pay every month a certain fee in order to use servers in their cloud infrastructure in order to power your app, on Cardano you simply pay a one-time fee and that's it. Your app will be there forever. And so smart contracts are a very massive use case for ADA, especially because essentially it's a one-time fee. That fee is usually quite high. If you go, for example, and take a look at Ethereum, it's pretty expensive to create smart contracts. We are speaking about a few $100s if you want to do it properly. And so I'm not sure it will be that expensive on Cardano. That depends on the use of the network. But it's a massive value driver, if I may say it like that, for ADA. And so finally you have sidechains. And sidechains, well, we don't know all the mechanics yet of sidechains in Cardano. There will obviously be a certain way where the value goes through to ADA again, right? Sidechains are at the end of the day benefiting from the security of the main network, and because of that, they will need at the end of the day to use ADA somewhere, which means again the value of ADA goes up. And so when you think about all these things, what ADA really is economic bandwidth. ADA allows you to have essentially bandwidth on a network, whether it's by creating smart contracts. You use essentially that resource, which is ADA, in order to rent space on the network, essentially forever when you think about it, because it's a one-time fee. You use that resource to pledge it. You use that resource to delegate it. You use that resource to power your sidechain. And so the more Cardano is used, the more the price will go up, and the more expensive that bandwidth becomes, because that bandwidth becomes full when it's used a lot. And so ADA really is economic bandwidth. Well, we are already at the end of this video. I hope you liked it. It's the first where I used this type of PowerPoint. Please tell me what you think about it. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share with all your friends. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.